about where he was in his evaluation process. I was honest with what I was with him in his evaluation process. He too has a great support system, great parents, mom and dad are awesome. He's the only child, so he had to figure things out a lot by himself. And kudos to him. We challenged him to make a huge jump from January to spring ball, from spring ball to now. And he has to continue to make a jump. But he's a critical part of our offense moving forward. He's a young man who not only won our program, but actually leading our program. I've never seen him have a bad day. He loves to play the game, but he also loves to practice as well. Right? So it's one of the things that I'm very excited about him for. So he has quickly grown to one of the leaders of this room. Right? I mean, looking in the big room, looking in the meeting room, looking at him on the field, he's a young man who you've seen grow right before your eyes. So I'm excited about him and his future and what he can bring to our football team this season.
You've been around some really good running back rooms.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach, good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. Absolutely.
Wayman, Eli, Brian, and then a couple freshmen coming in. Just what kind of potential does this group have? I mean, you've seen what the best looks like. Can this group get there?
Yeah, I think so. I was just making comparison to some of the rooms I had at the University of Memphis and obviously some of the rooms I had at TCU. When you look at all those NFL guys from those two programs, I think we're on track to do the same thing. I think what Woody Marks did last season kind of set the foundation for that. Brian Jackson got a chance to see firsthand what it takes to be a big-time back at this level, to be a Big Ten running back. And I think when you add guys like Wayman and Eli into the mix, and you add the two freshmen that's coming in with Riley Wayman and Harry Dahl, and then you got to walk on King Miller, who was on a tremendous job for us this spring. I think that room has unbelievable potential. Obviously, like you said, I've seen the best of the best. I've been very fortunately blessed in my career thus far to coach some NFL guys. And I think those guys are kind of turning in the right direction. Right? As long as they know what it really takes. And it's not all about football. Right? It's how you prepare. It's how you take care of your body. It is how you go about your daily activities. It's what you do academically. It's what you do in the classroom. It's what you do in the weight room. It's how you eat. It's nutrition. Right? It's everything combined. And then you can ultimately get to where you want to get to. Right? So I think we have a great foundation here, and I think you'll see a couple of guys get a chance to play at the next level here soon.
It's always changing, but you got three running backs right now who project to have a role. What's the ideal split? Do you want to have one guy X amount of carries? The percentage. What's the best breakdown when you have three capable?
Well, I think the best answer to say that is probably the most cliche answer. Is to keep them all healthy. Right? Like, that's probably the best thing to say. You want them to play. You want to rotate them as much as you can, but you also want to feed the horse that's running the best. Right? I mean, that's part of the game. That's part of the evaluation process. Last year that guy was Woody, right? And we was able to kind of spell him here and there, but we wish we probably could have rested him a little bit more. We got to keep him fresher for a little bit longer, but I thought he done I thought Woody did a tremendous job of taking care of his body, not getting to the point where he had to do rehab, but Woody did a great job of doing rehab. And I think those backs seeing that now, even the new ones that just come in, they hear the story. They went to the training room. They talked to our athletic trainers and our strength staff, and they asked, hey, what did he do to last, how he lasted last season? And I think those guys are just following suit. Obviously, you want to make it as even as possible, but you want those guys to be as productive as possible as well. And I think that's going to be the even split for So just making sure we keep a healthy rotation and keeping those guys fresh and healthy and making it hard for defenses in the Big Ten.
So, can you talk about how the return specialists, the skills you teach them, how that translates into the running back room? Because you work with a lot of those guys the same way.
I do, and it's all skill-based positions, right? Number one, we got to do a really good job of taking care of the ball, right? And I think that's something that was a point of emphasis for us this offseason. Not only in the running back room, in the skill position room in general, right? And it's being able to see things before they happen, right? Learning how to set up your blocks, learning how to manipulate the kickoff coverage team or the punt team that's covering you guys down as a primary punt returner, and just to making sure that we're able to elude defenders in a smooth manner to where, number one, we're not wasting steps, right? And we're making returns happen. And you see that evident when Lennon took over, back toward the end part of the season, right? Like he was doing exactly what was designed to do, and then you look at he really single-handedly took our kickoff return team from probably middle of the pack to probably top in the country. Right? Obviously, Coach Doty did a great job of the schematic things and all of that good stuff. But it's just taking special teams and transferring it over to offense, and taking offense and transferring it over to special teams. It's still a game of football. Right? It comes down to two things: taking care of the football and making explosive plays in the pass game, in the running game, and also in the return game as well.
You brought up Mekhi Lemon. Could he play running back if you wanted?
You know what? I joke with Mekhi Lemon. I told him in my previous spot, we've always used those guys like combo guys, right? Like you think about Tony Pollard, you think about Kenneth Gainwell, Antonio Gibson. I had one at TCU. He's actually still there. He's a really good player. And you look at guys like Kendra Miller and all those guys. I would be selfish to say that Mekhi could not be a running back, because I for sure think he could be. He's a special athlete with special skill set and special talent who I think can be one of the better players in the country.
What do you do when you see somebody who has the skill to do something, where they just have this one little bad habit that's hard to break? How do you get through them?
Yeah, you just got to stay on it, man. Habits are hard to break. Right? Like when I was a kid, I was probably the biggest headache to my mom and dad in the country, and probably any other son in America. But they just stayed on me, and they didn't never give up on me. And they gave me praise when I deserved praise, but they brought me back down to reality when I needed to be brought back down to reality. And I think that's what you do when it comes to coaching, right? You always, as a coach, you have to find something to work on, right? Whether it's footwork, whether it's pass protection, whether it's hands, whether it's ball security, you have to find something. I mean, I wake up in the morning just to purposely pick on a kid, just to say, hey, listen, I want to push your button today to make sure that this is what you're working on, that I'm holding you to the standard that you want to be held to, and I'm pushing you beyond the depth that you think you can go yourself, right? So I want to make sure that I'm pushing every kid that I come in contact with to be the best version of themselves on a daily basis.
Who's the best pass blocker in the group?
I think all of them, really, and I say that, and not because I know they're going to look at this interview and somebody's going to get mad and say, the coach didn't say my name, so I'm going to say all of them. All of them are good, and obviously when you're going against Rob Ryan and his linebackers, and you got Eric Gentry on the other side, and Desmond Stevens on the other side, and Jaden Walker on the other side, and you got those guys that's coming off the edge and flying up the middle, right? You better buckle your chin straps up a little bit, and all of them has done a really good job with that. So the good thing about it, nobody has got absolutely demolished in pass blocking right now this spring, so it makes me happy. I didn't have to write any moms a postcard saying that your baby is injured, because Eric Gentry just absolutely demolished him. But so I think all of them have taken great strides to be a really good pass protector.
When Riley Wormley gets healthy and he's able to contribute, what does he bring to the table?
He brings a dynamic skill set. Right? Like he's a kid who I was excited about in the recruiting process. I've been knowing Riley for a long time, and he suffered a serious knee injury. But he's rehab. I think he's ahead of schedule right now. It's from what the medical people tell me. He looks good, and he's able to do some of the things now. And he's a dynamic football player. Right? He's a football player who's very creative in space. He has the ability to make guys miss. I've been watching him since he was a freshman. Right? Obviously, being from the state of Texas, been having my eye on him. And when I was able to take this job, it was a no-brainer that we need to go recruit him. He's a great young man with a great family. Mom and dad has been awesome. His brother played the running back position as well, so he knows it. Comes from a great high school in Texas, and great coaches there in his high school in South Lake Carroll. He's a young man who's very passionate about the position. He wants to come in and contribute. He doesn't realize that he's just a freshman. Matter of fact, I had to get on him a couple of times this spring and kick him out some drills because he wants to hop in there without me knowing, and he's not medically clear to do that yet. So I don't want the medical staff to be on my tail about this kid is not cutting, because he wants to do it. Right? You got to hold him back a little bit. But when he gets back, he's going to be dynamic for us.
It's funny. It kind of reminds me of that story when Justin Fargas was at USC, and he was like 99% medically cleared. Somehow or another, he put himself in one of the games, and they had to yank him out real quick and take his helmet away.
That's Riley Williams. But thank God we haven't played a game yet, because I know he would have been dressed out and trying to find a heaven to do something knowing him.
Are you allowed to talk about Harry Dalton? He arrives here a little bit, in a few weeks. Are you allowed to talk about him?
I think so. I think he's committed, right?
I think he's signed, right?
Yeah, we're excited about him. So.
How did you find him? I mean, out there in the Virginia area?
When you look at USC in general, right, it's the best of the best, right? We want to go out and we want to play with the best guys. We want to recruit the best guys, and you kind of do your due diligence in the evaluation process of just researching guys and obviously what he brings to the table and his family background. And he was one of the ones for sure that's done a really good job of sticking out. Right? I mean, you look at one of the best players in the history of the state of Virginia, right? You look at his numbers and it's kind of jaw-dropping, right? And you look at his skill set and who he is as a person, and to me it was a no-brainer.
How much of the tailback you goes into your recruiting process?
I mean, it's there, and I have to be careful, right? Because so my dad's a preacher. My dad's a preacher in Memphis, and one of the Bible verses he always tells me is pride goes before destruction, right? And it's another part of the Bible verse too that he'll kill me because I can't remember right now. But I do know pride goes before destruction, and so I have to be careful about what I say. Right? We don't have to sell anything here at USC. I think USC sells itself. I think when you look at the running backs here that play here, when you think of all the greats, it's a very humbling experience in itself. And I think our players know about it. So we talk about it in the recruiting process. I wouldn't say brag about it because that's prideful. I don't want to make my dad mad. But you do have to walk around with your chest out a little bit, knowing that some of the greatest football players ever played a game play right here. You think of guys like Marcus Allen and Lindell Wilder and Reggie Bush and Mike Garrett and those guys, and even what Woody did last year. Right? And you look at the room right now, what those guys can potentially become. Right? You can't do nothing but be excited. So it's great. It's pretty cool.
The competition will, of course, continue. Has Wayman separated himself at all?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's done a great job of kind of being who he is. Right, he's been a dynamic football player. Been able to control the game in a way and just control practice in a way to where it is very noticeable. But he understands that the competition is kind of far from over a little bit. I think he has established himself as a really, really good football player for us. But so has the other guys. So has Eli Sanders. So has Brian Jackson. Right? And I think we're all still trying to find that role and carve out that role and a niche for each of them. And I think all three of those guys will be great contributors to the offensive room this year and to our football team as a whole, especially when it comes to offensive production as well as the special team side of things as well. So I can't say too much good things about all three of those guys. I'm just excited to have all three of them in the room, and I'm excited about King Miller and Kim McClavely, who's a walk-on for us. Who he has a role too, right? He's just probably won't say on Saturdays, but he's a vital part of this program as well. And they work extremely hard and they compete with each other. But they also love each other, and that's the thing I love about this room is that when you see one, you're gonna see the other two or three, right? I took them out to eat the other day, and just to see them talking and laughing and just being what college football is meant to be. Right? Like it's the one time in their life where they're not worrying about anything else but just being around each other, right? And first time I've seen 6 football players not with their phones in their hands, right? And that's pretty cool, right? Because even as a grown man, you have your phone in your hand all the time. Just to see them at the restaurant, I think we was watching the national championship basketball game, and just to see them loving each other and joking with each other. And I think that's what college football is, right? Like, forget all the madness that's going on right now, right? Just to make an impact on the young men and their lives. And when you meet their families, you're like, wow, this is why you do this, right? All those guys have unbelievable parents and unbelievable support systems.
How about the guys as pass catchers? No clear number one option as a receiver.
I think all three of those guys, like I said earlier, bring a different dimension. But I think I would be remiss if I didn't mention Eli Sanders, right? Because he has a different skill set to some of those other guys. When you look at Eli, like he can very well go over to the slot receiver position, go play slot receiver, and be just as effective. He's just a natural pass catcher, right? I don't think I've seen Wayman drop in balls, and you throw it out to Brian Jackson, he's going to catch it. It's not like you're going to hold your breath and just pray and hope that he catches the ball. Right? You feel confident in those guys. You feel like all three of those guys can be every down backs. You don't have to take one guy out in certain situations to put another guy in. But at the same time, all of those guys serve a different skill set. You look at Eli, he can be a valuable pass catcher from anywhere on the field. You look at Brian Jackson, who, when you get to the goal line in short yardage, right, it should be automatic with his size and his strength and his physical capabilities. You look at Wayman, he's kind of the jack of all trades, which all three of them are. So it's been awesome to see those skill sets come together and those guys play with each other.
Sorry, Mike. So Makai obviously did so well, return man last year. He's been a little banged up. Who else has impressed you in the return game this offseason?
Yeah, well, Eli took some reps back there this spring as well. Excuse me. You have young receiver DJ Jordan, who's done a really good job as well. You have, we call him Jay-Z, Josiah Zamora, right? He's like the old man in that room, but he brings a presence. Matter of fact, he was our off returner later on in the season with Makai, right? So a lot of those long runs.
That fumble in the bowl game.
He did.
It's almost a disaster.
It was. Right? And that just kind of showed you who Zamora is, right? He's a smart, heady kid who is USC through and through. Who I don't think that we kind of give enough credit to. I know he plays receiver, not coaches running backs, but he's a young man who was an unsung hero on the bowl game, right? That not too many people really mention that play. But he's the one that was back there blocking for Makai on a lot of those long returns that he had this latter part of last season. And he's a smart football player. We got some young guys too. We got the JJ kid on defense, and Alex Graham took some reps back there early on this spring. So and Jay Farrah has obviously has some experience doing as well. So we feel very confident in our returns this season.
If your dad wants to get mad, he can direct his anger at me. You're talking about pride. How much pride did you take knowing that you had the first USC running back to reach that 1,000-yard mark?
Now that is the moment where I can argue with my dad, because I was real proud of it. I was, and not just for him, but just for this program. When you think of USC, right? Think of not having a 1,000-yard rusher since 2017 is kind of far-fetched in between, because there's so many great players that played here in that time. And for whatever the reason may be, but you look at, and I was proud of our offensive line, right? All the things they had to endure and how they got better and better every week. And proud of our tight ends for working hard, and our receivers for blocking on the perimeter. And obviously you're extremely proud of Woody, right? So Woody was on track to rush for more yards here in one season than he did at his previous place in 4 years, right? And that's a credit to who he is. That's a credit to his mom and his dad and his support system back home. And you talk about being proud. I was really, really proud last Saturday when we were walking to the Coliseum and I got the call and he got drafted in the 4th round. And I didn't care about pride way before the structure did, because I was proud at that moment. And I was proud for him, not for me, but I was proud for him. Because I see the work that he's put in. I've seen the injuries that he had to endure back at Mississippi State and how he overcame them. And just for that moment of his parents, his mom and dad and people back home in Atlanta making a sacrifice for him to hear his name called. And let's just be honest, right? This was probably the deepest running back class in probably the history of NFL football, I think, right? I mean, you look at all the guys that's at that running back position that got picked up or that didn't get picked up, and you see Woody named in there. This shows you what this place is, and a credit to Coach Riley, his offensive system and schematics that's able to showcase these guys' abilities on a weekly basis.
The running backs and the offensive line is such a symbiotic relationship. How much time do those two rooms share in the film room together?
Yeah, we do quite a bit, maybe probably once or twice a week during the season. But I tell the running backs they better take care of them, right? And this is some of the things that you don't see is you kind of see it with Wayman and with Eli. I think Woody did it a couple of times too, and Brian would learn to do it as well, is that when these guys do an interview, you better bring an old lineman with you, right? Because this is not a thing that the running backs do on their own, right? And I know Woody did this, and I think Wayman, Eli, and Brian are going to kind of get to it too. It's going to be expensive, but they can afford it now. But take those guys out to eat, right? Like just show them that you appreciate it, because we don't showcase those guys enough as offensive linemen. They do a thankless job, really do. Right? They're carrying around a lot of weight to try to move a lot of more weight, and to do it 70, 80, 90 times a game. and they get zero credit for it. So I think our guys understand that. I think our guys are very, very appreciative of that. I am, as the running back coach, to see the growth that Coach Hanson and his team is doing with that offensive line. I mean, I think it's remarkable.
You brought up the financial aspect of it a little bit. How much of that is part of the recruiting, and how have you adjusted to that?
Yeah, I personally stay out of it.
Okay.
I don't really get involved with it. I'm old school as old school can be. I played FCS football where we got 19 meals a week with my scholarship, and that was it. And I got a $500 refund check because I was on the Hopes academic scholarship, and that's how I was able to send that $500 back to my mom. And anything we got at that time, I was very, very appreciative of. I grew up in a time where we only got one pair of gloves. They were Newman gloves. I mean, if you lost that pair of gloves, good luck to you, because Mike Roster, who's probably watching this interview right now, he was our head equipment manager back in Chattanooga, and we wouldn't get another pair. Right? And that was the reality of it. So it's different now. I stay out of it. I just focus on the young man himself. Right? I believe all the extra stuff that comes from college football can be beneficial to them. But for me, I'm trying to develop the young man first, and then develop a football player second. And anything extra after that is outside of my wheelhouse. Kudos to them, But there's nothing wrong with McDonald's meals every day, or Buffalo Wild Wings Tuesday specials that I had to grow up on eating when I was in college, because that's all you could afford. So God bless them. I'm not jealous, but God bless them. I am a little jealous.
Could you give us just a short scouting report on Riley and Harry, just what they are?
Yeah. So Riley is a dynamic guy in space. He's kind of a quick, elusive guy.